You good or just surviving? Seriously, take a second. If you're anything like me, there are days when getting out of bed probably deserves a standing ovation and a confetti cannon. I mean, when was the last time you actually felt strong, not just barely making it? Come on, let's get real here. You wake up already tired, that little voice whispering, you can't handle this. You're gonna drop the ball. Maybe you're trying to juggle work, family, anxieties about the future, stuff you're too embarrassed to admit to anyone. It's about being real with where you're weak and letting God step into those gaps. But just surviving one more brutal week fighting mental health battles, holding your family together, or forgiving yourself, and you're wondering, can I really do this? Yep, you can. Not solo, but because you're plugged into the ultimate power source. Maybe you've tried filling that empty tank with other stuff, caffeine, attention, likes, cutting people off, shutting down. But those fixes don't last, do they? There's only so much your own mind and hustle can do. But strength from God, that won't quit when you need it most, even if you're crawling. Don't take this as sit back and wait to be rescued. Nah, it's choosing every day to show up, even when you're limping. It's putting one foot in front of the other, believing that with Him, your weakness isn't a shame, it's an opening for real power to show up. You're not broken for needing a boost. That's exactly the point where things shift. So look, I challenge you. The next time you're staring at the ceiling, thinking you're failing at life, or when you feel like you're not enough, remember Philippians 4:13. Not as a magic trick, but as your anchor. That's your path to keep going, even when you're hanging by a thread. Let it be your anthem, your comeback story, your secret sauce. I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. That's the mic drop. Now get up, keep moving, and remember you're way stronger than you think. So where do you fit in all this? Maybe you're the Jess in your story right now, or you're the person who helps everyone else, but feels empty yourself. You don't do all things by your own energy. You do it through Him. That means hope isn't in how awesome you pretend to be. Hope is in how much you lean in when you've got nothing left. Social media says everyone else is crushing it and you're, well, just hanging by a thread. But let's cut through the noise. The strongest people you know, they fight the same inner wars. The difference, they tap into strength that's not just their own. You feel me? It's like, on your own. Yeah, it makes sense to quit when you're exhausted or scared. But you're not on your own. Not even close. Life isn't always a 5-star movie montage of wins. Just looked like she had it all together. Job, apartment, style that made TikTok jealous. But she was quietly drowning in doubts, feeling like she was always 3 steps behind. Faking confidence. She hit a rough patchwork drama, breakup, the works. You ever been there? Where every day feels heavier than the last. Jess reached a point where she just sat on her floor, surrounded by a sea of to-do lists and takeout boxes, telling herself, I'm done. I've got nothing left. And in the next few weeks, things didn't magically fix themselves. This isn't a Disney movie. But Jess noticed something subtle. She was suddenly getting out of bed a little easier, handling drama without snapping, and finding energy to keep going. That wasn't because Jess suddenly became Superwoman. It was because she tapped into a strength far bigger and deeper than whatever she could manufacture herself. Most days feel more like a blooper reel, spilling coffee, missing deadlines, forgetting what day it is, or worse, you're smacked with stuff you never saw coming. Friendships that get weird, money stress, that ache of never being enough. For real, it sometimes feels like the universe is stacking the odds just to see how you'll react. Here's the truth bomb. Listen up. A lot of us are walking around thinking we've got nothing left, just grinding on fumes. But what if I told you that's a lie? What if, deep down, you've got access to a source of strength so wild, so unbreakable, you literally can't lose? I know, sounds cheesy, but stay with me. Ever heard that line? I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. Yeah, Philippians 4:13, it's our MVP today. Don't roll your eyes. I'm not just tossing a bumper sticker quote at your problems. I'm talking about a hardcore, straight up promise that there's way more in the tank than you think. Let's get honest, the mental battles are the most brutal ones, right? Let me break it down with something real. I had a friend, let's call her Jess. It's not about hustling every single moment or proving your worth by how much you do. Let us get even more real. Maybe you're all things right now aren't climbing a mountain or starting a business.